Hey, what up, y'all? This is your boy Ken, aka Pimpin Ken. You're watching The View from the Game. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on Instagram, you watch me live at Real Pimpin Ken _. I am the actual man behind the Instagram. Yes, I do answer my DMs. When you DMing me. Hey, but check this out, man. While I got your attention, make sure you go get my book, The 48 Laws of Game. That's right, Pimp Policy, The 48 Laws of Game. You can get it at audible.com. All you gotta do is type my name, Pimpin Ken. When you get to audible.com, in this book, as well as my other book, The Art of Human Chess. This is the book everybody's talking about. This is the book that your daddy should have taught you about. Everything that your daddy didn't teach you the game, it's in this book right here. And The Art of Human Chess, a study guide to win, teach you how to maneuver, teach you how to finesse, teach you how to play chess, teach you how to outsmart your enemy. You got to get my books, classics. Hey man, also man, make sure you subscribe, like, and make sure you let everybody know through notification where to come and get this joint at by sharing. And also, I'm also the proprietor and the owner of HHF Mag, HHF Clothing, HHF Awards, and HHF Radio. Hey man, stay tuned, man, and go to thehiphopfraternity.com and check us out. And every Monday, we at the Ice Bar. That's right, 5456 Fayetteville Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Every artist get in free. Every A&R get in free, every executive get in free, everybody is free, artists get to perform for free, and you get to park for free. It's the only free game in town. In my book, The Art of Human Chess, right, I talk about, a woman's duty in perpetuity is to challenge a man, Yeah. And I say that, and I qualify that, I say the first challenge to man was the woman. And ever since then, a woman do not, even as a P, right? I would have all these bad chicks, man. They'd be gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? And gang God, they'd be like, woo, they'd be fine, and they'd be thinking they can hit me with, they can win me over with the sex or whatever, you know what I mean? But I stood on business, right? But they would never leave. And they would give me everything they had. And the only reason why is because they haven't broke me yet. And I think that that's a woman's duty on this earth, no matter what square, hustler, player, whatever, is to try to break a man.
A woman gonna try you. It's in her nature to try you. And as long as you show up to be every bit of man you told her you were when you met, she's always gonna back down. But she's always gonna try. Did he change today? Is he who we really say he is? And that's what she's supposed to do. It's in her nature to want to see if the man she's chosen is fit to lead her, because she's putting her life in your hands. She's putting her children's life, or children to be, life in your hands. So of course she wants to test the man that might be the bearer of her children. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she's gonna do. You just have to show up to that test and be the man you told you was when y'all met.
And I was reading in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, it said, the woman that you chose for me, that you gave me, deceived me. So even Adam, which now the Bible can be looked at allegorical, biblical, or it could be looked at, historical. So if we look at it allegorically speaking, right, from a symbolic perspective, right, even in that symbolism, the first chapter in the Bible is called the fall of the man. And the reason because of the fall was the woman.
Yeah.
And he said, the woman that you gave me deceived me. And then she tried to blame it on the serpent. So, I think that so a lot of our brothers out there that's looking for some game, because we with the game guy, I think you should explain to them, game guy, about why do you think, not religiously speaking, right? You don't have to believe in no God, or you can be Muslim, Christian. Why would you think if there was a God that he would bring a man to bear with a woman? Why would you think that would be his first challenge? I got a theory, but I want to hear your theory.
Well, my theory is that, one, life is about challenges, because how could you grow if you didn't have challenges? But number two is, I don't really think it's about the woman. I think it's about his own internal principles and how his own mindset is. You can't be tempted by something that inside and at your core, you have certain principles and things that you don't cross. So she's only revealing to yourself who you really are with that test. Because if you wouldn't be able to be tested and be deceived if you was thinking properly, if you had morals, if you had principles, if you did what you knew was right. I'm not too familiar with the story exactly how it goes, but all I say is you can't never put it on a woman. It always starts with the man. If you are who you say you are, you have morals and you have principles, you know what's right and what's wrong, what you stand on. A woman can't tempt you. A woman can only tempt what's inside of you. So you have flaws and a woman just brings it out. So when a woman tests you and gets the best of you, it's because it's something inside of you you need to fix first, because you're not all the way solid, because a woman can't tempt a solid man. When you were standing on your principles, she couldn't tempt you because you was who you said you was. She tried it, but it was unsuccessful.
And you know, that's so beautiful that you said it, because when you think about it, right, one of the other things that they talk about, you know, in that story is the will. See, the choice. See, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? The thought was the cause of it all. Your mama didn't just have you. She liked it, your daddy, and they thought about sex, and you came about.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think that men need to develop the exercise of the thought. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once you can control your thinking, as we talked about earlier, once you control your big head, you control your little head.
Right.
And, you know, another thing that brothers out there, you know, y'all just a view from the game, and sisters, you know, I tell you all the time, it's an EQ, it's an IQ, and it's an AQ. EQ is your emotional quotient. IQ is your intellectual quotient. You can't let your EQ supersede your IQ. You can't let your emotions supersede your intelligence. And the AQ is what being Brother Gang God is trying to get y'all to, is y'all adaptability quotient. You know what I mean? Like he said, whenever you're in the midst of a woman, you know, one of the things I did, because I deal with thousands of women, I immediately adapted to the situation. You know, so when I control a woman, I didn't control her on spontaneously. I controlled her based on her wants, her needs, and the things that she said out of her mouth. So I think that that's what the gang God is saying. You know, you got to listen to a woman, and you got to have value within yourself. You got to be willing to not to be controlled in order to not to get controlled. So that was a good analogy that you put out there.
Your lower self must be subservient to your higher self. You know, everybody got the angel and the devil on their shoulder. You know, you have to have that angel be stronger, which is your intellectual. You know what's right and what's wrong. You know what you should be doing in this situation. And, you know, the only difference from us and the animals is they don't have a choice, but we as human beings have that choice. And as a man, you can't be a man unless you're exercising the right choice, you know, and not letting your emotions get ahead of your, you know, intelligence.
And I was, I had a little, I would say skirmish on the internet. And I was telling the brother, I said, man, you know, this brother, he like an ox. No, an ox, you know, he's in the wilderness and he looking like this. But brother, Too Real, he's got a sawed-off shotgun and he finna shoot the ox. But the ox do not have enough intelligence to know that he's in danger. So if he don't have the ability to reason, which we all do, and go back to thought, then he finna be some oxtail. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's very important that, you know, we use reasoning. And, you know, a lot of people talk about common sense, right? But sense ain't really that common. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to go back to what we were saying. So now, when we talk about the woman, polygamy, right? If you is in a polygamous relationship, do you think that all the women should live in one household?
You know, this is my thing, right? Because I did it both ways. I had a household full of women, and I did it where everybody had their own spots. You know, sometimes two here. But one, it depends on your temperament, right? Because a lot of dudes, some dudes, they can handle that. They like that. They like being in the house and having all their women, if that's your thing. But when you have all your women in the household, it's a lot of games that's going to be played, a lot of jealousy, a lot of fires you got to be putting out. A lot of people in a lot of people's business and your business and their business. So it's a lot easier when you have everybody separate, because then it's just your relationship. Now your relationship without the input of everybody else around.
Yeah, I was on Trigger Alert. I do their podcast every morning.
Okay.
And we was talking about that. So they asked me, I said, you know, it's the exact same thing. I said, the reason why is because women like to feel special. It's you can't be in Mexico and in China at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to differentiate and be able to set your, I had 16, I was 16 deep. And I personally had them all over the country. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, hey, you know, Monday is your day, Tuesday is your day, Wednesday is your day, Thursday is your day. Then if it's two, some people might get two, people might get Wednesday. But you know, that is the best way, because like you said, man, whenever you're dealing with the human being, you know, we all have abandonment issues, you know, even stemming from our childhood. You know, like I got 9 brothers and sisters, right? I'm the 5th child. So the 6, 7, 8 abandoned, got me abandoned.
Yeah.
You know, when my brother came, you know, Tony, you know, I was abandoned. When brother Marvin came, I was abandoned. And, you know, all that Google got Google shit, that shit ceased, right? So I'm like, man, you know, I'm tripping, you know, and that caused me to have, I believe, you know, some mental retard. What would they say?
Mental retardation.
Not mental, Solomon said all the time, but anyway, mental issues, right? Because I feel like your mental health issues, because, you know, I started acting real bad in school, you know, because I want the attention. So that's the same way I look at these bras, right? Yeah. You know, you got to, when you pimping, you know, and I don't want to connect that with you, but I'm talking about me. When you really I was in the game, right. You know what I'm saying? I had to be extremely strategic. I had to be a psychologist.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know,
that's a fact. And every woman is different. So it's like when they all in the same household, you might have to have a different personality for each one. But if they all in a household, you can't do that. You can't isolate one and do what one like. Oh, that's something different than you do with her. So I get what you're saying. And a lot of times I feel like a lot of dudes want a lot of women in the same house because they doing it for the look, not actually for what you should be doing it for. And that shit get old real quick. And it's stressful. You know what I'm saying? If you doing it for what you should be doing it for, you know, then having them all in the same place is, not to mention if we talking about Joe's situation, man, that's a sticky situation for the police too if you got them all in the same house.
Yeah, because I mean, on multiple levels, right? So, you know, one of the things that I did, I call it automatic. I kept them on automatic because another thing that they do, if all of them know they in different states, they give me time for myself. So when they be like, where you at, Daddy? I'm at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Where's Cheryl at? She's over here. She's over there. And I'm gonna tell you, son, I don't know if you ever experienced this. Like, you know, my boss be like, hey, Daddy, let's have a party, more than one girl, right? So I might be, you know, in my day, because I was pimping like that. I have about 6, 7. We all, you know, having sex or whatever, you know. And the bottom chick, she be looking like, I know you ain't fit semen in that comment on that condom, and you know, girl, you know, I got that. So it you know, it caused so many problems, man.
You know, I was always against that. Tried it early on, and I saw before it got too deep. No, and not only was I against us having threesomes, I was against the girls getting together like that because I would always see, man, you could just stop being friends with somebody, but anybody that you've been having sex with, when y'all fall out, y'all hate each other. So I said, man, y'all can't even be having sex around here together because I didn't want it to get too convoluted.
Or it can go the other way. I had situations where I let 2 bras, you know,
they ran off together.
They ran off together. You know what I'm saying? They try to bring 4 or 5 of them more with them, you know. So, I mean, it's a tricky situation. You know, it's like I wrote the book, God is Human Chess. I tell people, man, in chess, right, you play the board. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't play the man, you play the board. Depending on how the board is moving, you know what I'm saying? That's how you move. You know, like in life, you know what I'm saying? Man, you could plan everything to the letter. You can say, this is exactly how it's going to happen. And guess what?
It ain't going to happen like that.
It ain't going to happen that way. So, you know, that's why I play the board. If me and you was having this podcast and I was interviewing, you walked off and left and just like did a Rick Ross on me, you know what I'm saying, get up and leave. You know, I'm going to play the board. You know, I'm going to turn it into my interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to play chess with you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that was a cold chess move he just pulled on me. You know, he left me abandoned.